Let's talk about health insurance. If you've ever felt completely lost trying to figure it all out, trust me, you are not alone. It can feel like a total maze. So today, we're going to cut right through the confusion and find a clearer path forward, together. So here's our roadmap. First, we'll talk about why this whole thing is so confusing in the first place. Then we'll pinpoint exactly who needs coverage. After that, we'll dive into all your different options, and I'll show you a much smarter way to shop for a plan. Then, the most important part, how to actually choose the right plan for you. And finally, we'll look at the bigger picture, how this all fits into your overall financial safety net.
All right, so let's start with that feeling of being overwhelmed. Why does health insurance have to feel so complicated? Well, it's the endless choices, the jargon, and honestly, the stakes are really high. It is so easy to feel lost before you even get started.
Sound familiar? You start looking online and boom, you're just drowning in this alphabet soup of acronyms. PPO, HMO, HDHP, ACA. What does it all even mean? It's a super common feeling, and it's exactly why having a clear strategy is so important.
But here's the good news. You really don't have to figure all this out by yourself. We're going to slice through all that noise and lay out a simple, step-by-step way to tackle these big decisions. Okay, so first things first, let's answer the most basic question. Who actually needs to be thinking about this? And you know what? The answer is probably a lot broader than you might think.
See, it really isn't just for one type of person. We're talking about families who just want predictable costs without any scary medical bill surprises. It's for all the self-employed folks and freelancers out there who are basically their own HR department. It's for seniors trying to make sense of all the different Medicare options, students who need a temporary plan, and of course, business owners who want to do right by their employees. Everybody's needs are a little different, but the goal is always the same: peace of mind and financial protection. All right, so you've decided you need it. Now for the million-dollar question, where do you even get it? This is a huge roadblock for so many people, so let's just map out the main highways you can take. These are pretty much the big buckets you're going to run into. A lot of us get our coverage through our job, right? But there's also the ACA Marketplace, plans you can buy directly from an insurance company, Medicare for those 65 and over, and even things like short-term plans for when you're in between jobs. Think of these as the main destinations on our map. We just need to figure out which route makes the most sense for you. Okay, listen up, because this next part is a game changer that a lot of people just don't know about. It's not just about what plan you buy, it's about how you buy it. You can go straight to an insurance company's website, or you can work with an independent agency. And the difference is fascinating when you break it down. Look, if you go direct, you're only seeing one company's menu of options and their prices. You're the one who has to do all the legwork, checking if your doctor is covered, comparing all the costs, and then you have to do it all over again next year. But with an agency, they shop the entire market for you. Their whole job is to find you better rates and make sure the plan actually works for your life, with your doctors and your prescriptions. They do all the heavy lifting. And here is the absolute best part. You might be thinking, okay, what's the catch? What does this cost? Nothing. It costs you nothing extra. The agencies get paid by the insurance companies, not by you. So you get expert, unbiased help and way more options, often for the same price or even less than if you did all that grueling work yourself. It's a no-brainer, really. All right, now we get to the main event, actually picking a plan. We've got the lay of the land, and now it's time to give you the tools you need to make a smart, confident choice. This is the question, isn't it? Because it's not about just grabbing any plan. It's about finding the one that's truly the right fit. And that all starts with three things: your doctors, your prescriptions, and your budget. So here's the number one trap people fall into. They only look at that monthly premium. That's just one piece of the puzzle. To know the real cost, you have to add it all up: the monthly premium, plus your deductible, plus any copays you might have. And just as critical, you've got to double check that your doctor's in the network and your medications are covered. Getting either of those wrong can lead to some massive, shocking bills down the road. We get this question constantly. You see those really low monthly premiums and think, wow, that looks great. But is a high deductible plan actually a smart move? Let's break it down. So here's the deal. With one of these plans, you absolutely save money every single month on that premium. The catch? If you do get sick or have an accident, you're on the hook for a much bigger chunk of the cost before your insurance starts paying. These plans can be a fantastic option for younger, healthier folks who can afford that financial risk, especially if you pair it with a tax-free health savings account, or HSA. Okay, next scenario, COBRA. If you've recently left a job, you probably got that offer in the mail and had a bit of sticker shock at the price. So is it ever worth paying that much? Here's a really simple rule to follow. If you've already paid off most or all of your deductible for the year, or if you're right in the middle of an important medical treatment, then yeah, paying that high COBRA cost might be worth it to keep your doctor in your plan. But for pretty much everyone else, you're almost always going to find a cheaper option on the ACA Marketplace or through a private plan.
All right, we're nearing the end of our path. And the last thing to remember is that even the best health insurance plan in the world doesn't cover everything. It's the foundation of your financial safety net, for sure, but there are a few other pieces you might want to consider to feel truly protected.
Just think about it for a second. Your health plan isn't going to cover your trip to the dentist for a cleaning or a new pair of glasses. And it definitely won't replace your income if you get hurt and can't work for a while. That's where these other types of coverage step in. Things like disability insurance to protect your paycheck or accident insurance to help pay that high deductible. They all work together to build a strong safety net that protects both your health and your wallet.
So, as we wrap up, I'll leave you with this one question to think about. Now that you've seen the whole map, where's the biggest gap in your own financial safety net? Because finding that gap, well, that's the first real step toward building a truly secure future. Thanks for joining me.